Hey, what's up, Lightbolt Joe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2017 horror film Jigsaw. This is the 8th film in the Saw series. Tobin Bell is back as John Kramer in flashback scenes, even though you think he's alive. But Matt Passmore plays his character, Logan Pierce, something, I forget. Logan is one of the names. I haven't seen this as many times as I've seen the original ones. This is a weird Jigsaw movie, I will say that, just because it's like really stretching it. I liked the twists, but like this movie wasn't that necessary. It's only necessary for like the character of Logan and like the origin of the reverse bear trap mask. Like that's really it. That's really it. Matt Passmore plays his character Logan Pierce. I think. I can't remember the last name, but we'll just pretend it's Logan Pierce. So he was in a jigsaw trap, and the way this movie is you have you have a whole game being played with 5 individuals in a barn somewhere, and then you have a detective working with, coroners and internal affairs, trying to figure out why these jigsaw victims are appearing again, if in fact voice recognition on the tapes is John Kramer. So like, how is John Kramer back from the dead? There's this informant, his name is Edgar. He starts off the movie with saying, it's them or me. I'm not going to die for these, 5 people. So he like sets off the timer for the game. And the detective who's like friends with this informant like is the one who has to like try to convince him not to do anything. But it's a lot of like dirt being uncovered on that detective's front. Like he let a lot of rapists go, and he let a lot of murderers go, and like all of these different things. Like this character Edgar was let go for drunk driving and like killed a person while behind the wheel under the influence, and like was let go. So like all these different things, like things weren't making sense. So you get different sins from these 5 players of this game in the barn, but then you also have this detective trying to pin this new jigsaw stuff on these 2 corners, Logan being one of them, and this character Eleanor, who are, coroners working at this, city morgue, examining the bodies, comparing them to the, past Jigsaw murders, but Jigsaw's been dead for 10 years. So how is it that we're finding John Kramer's blood under one of the victim's fingernails? How is his voice identified in their recording? Stuff like that. So as the story progresses, we get the twist that Matt's character of Logan was the medical assistant who accidentally switched the labels on the x-rays that diagnosed John Kramer with a cancerous brain tumor. It was a simple mistake, but it cost John months of, medical help that he could have gotten to kind of subdue the cancer. So Jigsaw put him in a game, and the twist is the game that we're actually seeing is a game that happened previously, that happened well over 10 years ago, and that Matt's character as that medical assistant was one of the 5 players who was the first to get injured. But Jigsaw, watching all of it, felt that he had suffered enough blood from the first like Saw, kind of like a blood sacrifice, if you will, in the first room of the barn. He patched him up and he became an apprentice. So he was another Jigsaw apprentice, aside from Amanda, aside from Hoffman. Like he was another apprentice aside from, Dr. Lawrence Gordon behind the scenes. So if Lawrence Gordon did like the surgical stuff and like Amanda did her thing and like Hoffman did all the muscle work in the previous movies we've seen, Matt's character of Logan did little engineering things. Like we see him and Jigsaw create the bear trap mask, the reverse bear trap mask. So like that was cool. And then like he reveals it at the end that he devised a similar game to Jigsaw's, that he only put 3 players in, and those were the 3 victims that they had seen popped up, throughout the city. But they were, murderers, rapists, drunk drivers that detective had let go. So he's like, I speak for the dead now because your informant Edgar killed my wife while he was drunk. So like, who's going to speak for her. So it's kind of like, it's a revenge bit. So it's using the Kramer mantra as a revenge, which like was cool, I guess. And like the final death scene with the laser like necklace and then splitting the guy open like a Demogorgon, I thought that was pretty neat. But like I said, it was a weird movie because like it wasn't really necessary. The only bits of important information from this hour and 30-minute long movie is Kramer's x-rays were mislabeled from a medical assistant, and then he put the medical assistant in a game, and then he became another, apprentice who helped make the reverse bear trap mask. That's it. That's all I learned from this movie. I mean, Billy was in it for half a second. Like, he was good. I enjoyed the twist because I didn't see it coming, but like definitely not one of the best Saw movies. Not even close. It's a good encompassing, and like I am excited for Spiral, which is the 9th Saw movie, which is a Chris Rock, Samuel L. Jackson film, which was supposed to come out in 2020, but it got pushed to 2021 because of the COVID-19 pandemic. I would be so much happier if they just put it straight to streaming services, come this Halloween season, but they're not going to do it. C'est la vie. So, thus concludes our 8-movie conversation on the Saw franchise. Jigsaw is by far my least favorite, hands down. I don't know what my favorite is, to be honest. I mean, obviously, it's supposed to be 1 because it's, surmises everyone's expectations, and it did have one of the best twists that I can remember in the history of mankind. So, yeah, we'll say Saw 1, that whole bathroom scene. Just simple, Adam and Lawrence yelling at each other, drawing Kramer's fake dead body on the floor the entire time, holding the shocker. Beautiful. Game over. Okay, so on to our next horror movie franchise. Stay with me as we review some things possibly in between, or I might just review a book and then we'll jump into the next horror movie franchise. So let's see. Let's see what my eyes can do for the time being. I still feel a little weird. I am antibiotic, but we'll see what happens. Okay, Mucho mahalo.